I was gonna film outside, but our neighbors have a party all Friday and Saturday night, almost every single Friday and Saturday night. And you know what? Good for them. They got a lot of friends, it seems like. That's pretty cool, pretty cool, pretty cool. But I'm here to party with you. That sounds weird. But I hope that you're doing well. Just got back from the mall. I absolutely, positively hate the mall. And our mall is really run down. See, when I was a kid, being in the malls were amazing, right? You got to, that's where you got dropped off early in the afternoon, and you didn't get picked up. You closed that thing down, and but not anymore. As an adult who genuinely and generally can't stand people, it does make it a bit tricky to say the least. And also, when you're a dad, you're just a pack mule. I just carry around everything. I sort of hang back. And, just in general, I like to people watch, which sounds really creepy, but if you've never had the opportunity just to watch people, they're really strange. And I will say that when I was outside of FYE, I was sitting out there with my wife and my kid, my youngest one, and my daughter and her friends were in FYE, and a group of furries walked by. If you're not familiar with furries, that's people who dress in some way, I guess, like animals. I don't really know a whole lot about it. I just know they have tails and ears, which is sort of weird. But again, I'm not here to judge, right? We judge, or we listen, we don't judge, whatever that is. But I, being in my middle ages, sometimes don't have complete control, or do have complete control, maybe, or quasi control of my body, and just don't care. But either way, I let out what I thought was going to be a silent one, and it was very loud in a mall that was just empty enough to echo off the walls, but full enough for there to be lots of witnesses. And so the furries turned around and laughed at me. So I got heckled by a group of teenage furries. I wish I could say that that is a abnormal thing for me, but that is in fact a pretty normal encounter with me. I get myself into some pretty weird situations, but that was quite literally self-induced, and so that happened. Got some Auntie Anne's, which is the highlight of the week. Let's be honest, delicious and always refreshing. I mean, there's nothing refreshing about pretzels, but it's delicious and cinnamon and delicious and fantastic. I don't get the regular pretzels. I feel like if you go to Auntie Anne's and you don't get the cinnamon sugar, then you should probably get your dome checked. Your dome is probably off a little bit. Um, but that's just me, you know what I'm saying? To each their own, to each their own. Mowed today, which was awful because I freaking hate mowing. And I feel like I'm negative, but I'm not. Um, but I get, maybe that's what somebody who is negative would say. Um, I'm just not a big fan of mowing. I did it for a long time, and it is just about as miserable as it can possibly get here in Florida right now. But I do love the heavy, heavy rains we're getting. The just Mother Nature hates you kind of rains. They're the best, and they really just make you feel like refreshed. I did get a new hat. Check out the hat. Pretty nice. I am a Miami Dolphins fan, so we're not having the greatest run of things, but that's all right. You know what I mean? You got to keep hope alive. And I'm not a big sports fan, but my wife started watching them because of the colors, and I was like, I'll give them a go. And it's they're pretty fun to watch. I'll say it, even if they're miserably losing, they are pretty fun to watch. And so, hopefully, that's the same experience you have for me. Hopefully, I'm fun to watch, even though I'm pretty much miserably losing at all things. Um, I think I'm a winner. I have a great outlook on life. I've got a wonderful family, but I've got, if I have any luck, it's bad luck. Um, and I'm constantly getting into things. Like I try to do the right thing. Like I tried to cover my wife's head with an umbrella today as we were leaving the mall, but lost sight of the cart, which had her purse on it, and it tumbled over into a dirty mall puddle. And so that wasn't great, you know? And so that's kind of and if you were to contextualize what it is to be me, that would be it. Uh, Quixotically trying to do the best within life and yet somehow messing up, but that's okay. You know what I mean? It's the intent. It's all about the intent. You know what I mean? It's the thought that counts. Except for gifts, it's nice to get gifts. If you think about it, it doesn't do anything. My wife and I's 18-year anniversary is coming up. Isn't that crazy? That's amazing. It's coming right around the corner. Super, super excited about that. Always a little bit of a. So I have what's called analysis paralysis, and so I tend to overanalyze everything and then somehow come up with the conclusion that doing nothing is the best route. It's not. And so we got some stuff planned that's going to be exciting. It's going to be fantastic. Super excited about that. I have got to. So I have been so focused on this channel that I haven't made any videos for the channel that I actually get paid on, which is probably not a great business decision. But again, nothing's really thought out, and maybe that causes you anxiety to think about, but some of you, maybe that's freeing, you know what I mean? I just kind of go by feels, and I feel like that I probably need to get over there and do some content. But you know, this has been cathartic. I love this. I'm going to keep this going, even though hardly anybody's watching it. One day you might see it, and that's the hope, right? Hopefully you'll enjoy it. I will say, this is just sort of the experience with being new to YouTube. You're probably not watching this because you don't even know it exists. But once you do know it exists, hopefully you stick around with it. But, you know, we'll see how it goes. The catharsis, at least, is in the ability to be able to share all of this. And I think that's fun and exciting. And hopefully you think it's fun and exciting, right? Maybe not exciting. Exciting is probably a strong word for any of my content. It's fun, relatable, hopefully. You know, I'm just a kind-hearted person trying to do the wrong thing. Just, you know, having a good time, enjoying life. And I hope that you're doing the same. I hope that you're having a good time and enjoying life. And a lot of that is about perspective, right? It's not always sunshine, rainbows, and butterflies, right? Sometimes there are bad days, and you just got to find a way to make it good. Gratitude journals has helped out a lot for that for me, but that's what it's all about. Sorry, I hear my daughter. So we have 3 large dogs, and so whenever you hear a door crack a little bit, you have to get ready because they pour out of doors like water. They are all ready to go. We spent a lot of money on obedience school for them, and so we should have probably just given them that money to use as dog toys. Because it didn't really do too much. But that's all right. They're lovely. They're sweet. Again, quixotic. They mean well. They'll trample all over your feet, but that's only because they're trying to give you a kiss. And so, in that regards, they're my spirit animal, I suppose. It is Friday night where I am. I don't know where it is where you are, but I hope that you are having a great Friday night, and I hope that you have a great weekend. And no matter what comes your way, I hope that it is fruitful, and I hope that it brings you joy. And it may be a month from now before you see this. It may be 3 months. You may not even ever see this because you may finally watch this and you don't even get through the 8.5 minutes of rambling, 9 minutes of rambling. But if you do, special message for you. You're the best. I appreciate you, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week. I'll see y'all soon. Bye-bye.